So yesterday, of course, Manchester United drew 1-1 against Ipswich away from home. And look, all of us Manchester United fans know that it's just unacceptable from the players. And Ruben Amorim has seen it straight away. He said in the press conference yesterday, we are going to suffer, and it's not going to be a quick change at Manchester United, unfortunately. This is going to take time. And a big reason why we will suffer quite a bit is because of these players. And I've said this for ages now. I've always thought for ages the players are the problem, not always the manager now. It was the Glazers. Now, it's on the players. They're not doing their thing. We brought in players in the summer and they're not making an impact. Players who are already in the side are not doing enough and seem like they can't be bothered and aren't really playing for the manager. I've seen people saying, get Rude back in. But at the end of the day, that makes no difference whatsoever. With Rude in the job, we probably still would have drew 1-1 against Ipswich. The players are big letdowns at the end of the day. And, yesterday they gave us about, 3 minutes of a manager bounce and then just stopped. It's like, there's just no vision that we're playing with. And that is not Amorim's fault whatsoever. Amorim needs the right players and players who stay. And, we've got so many players who have lasted through so many managers are still here, and they should not be here because their attitude is not good enough to play for Manchester United at the end of the day. And Amorim knows this. And I believe Ruben Amorim has got a great philosophy to come into Manchester United and win us things. I really like the way he likes to set up. And he's going to go by his way as well. He said in the press conference, it's his way, it's his style of football that he said it in press conference before the match that, Manchester United, they're going to play his style and his way. And that's what we need. But obviously, Ruben Amorim tried it yesterday. I mean, we saw glimpses of a good, solid Ruben Amorim shape, but it's like the players just aren't doing enough. And obviously, it is going to take time as well. We're going to get good results along the way, but we're also going to pick up some bad results along the way, such as yesterday, and probably worse than yesterday as well. We're going to also get some big results as well. Ruben Amorim just needs the right mix of players and needs to get rid of players that have lasted through so many managers and just aren't and have never made the cut at the end of the day. I think a lot of these players are big problems, and there are so many that need replacing at the end of the day. And Ruben Amorim, January couldn't come soon enough because honestly, I think Ruben Amorim, hopefully, at the very minimum, he needs at least 2 players that he's bringing in. 3 transfers in January would be great. But again, Manchester United, we're not really known for doing anything big in January. But you never know with Ineos here, as with Ruben Amorim as their first actual manager that they've appointed, they could really get behind him and really help him in this January transfer window. And God, he does need it. He needs it. Ruben Amorim needs to bring in the players that suit his style, because as I've been saying, a lot of them that we got right now at Manchester United just don't fit the cut. And it was clear in that Ipswich game yesterday. I think we're going to be able to tell a lot against Bodo Glimt when we played them on Thursday, because obviously, they're not a great side. They're a side who we should be walking straight through. And really, Ruben Amorim should be hopefully being able to get these players playing in his shape, hopefully quite well against Bodo Glimt, because they're not a great team, and I think Bodo Glimt on Thursday in the Europa League are a good team to experiment against, in my opinion, because we should beat them no matter what, even though we haven't been great in the Europa League whatsoever recently. But hopefully Ruben Amorim can really make a change here. And I mean, Rude got a win in the Europa League, obviously, but this is good for Ruben Amorim to really experiment. And I think the Bodo Glimt game could expose quite a few of our players if they're not making the cut for Ruben Amorim at the end of the day. And Ruben Amorim's going to see it. Ruben Amorim's got a real good mind on the game. We can already tell by what he was saying after the game yesterday. He knows the process that it's going to take to really get us back to the top at the end of the day. And he knows it's going to be a long one, and he needs to get his right players in. And against Bodo Glimt, there's going to be experiments in the side. He's going to get his formation going. Let's see what players play well under it in that game. And if players don't make the cut against Bodo Glimt, there's big problems, and they're players that have got to just be dropped out the side for good, in my opinion. Players who don't play well against Bodo Glimt. We have to have big performances in that game. And it's a good one to get a win and really build confidence off if we can win that one. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But Ruben Amorim knows that right now he's got a group of players playing with him right now who, you know, haven't performed for certain managers, or, you know, it's just, or they're very inconsistent players, or they just easily drop off, or they just can't be asked. Ruben Amorim knows what he's dealing with here. And, you know, I think all of us as Manchester United fans, and Ruben Amorim himself as well, all of us, you know, we've had a reality check. And, you know, we know that this is on the players a lot. And I do think if Ruben Amorim can't succeed at Manchester United, the players are to blame. It's as simple as that, in my opinion. Ruben Amorim's got to be the man to sort it out, or I don't know where we go from here. Because Ruben Amorim, he's a young guy. He's, you know, look at what he's able to do with Sporting in the Champions League and in their league. He's got a good style of play. He comes across very well in the press conferences, a very good, confident guy, a good, humble guy as well in press conferences. You know, and Ruben Amorim, you know, he's got a good understanding of players, of this generation players, because Ruben Amorim has played with this generation's players. So Ruben Amorim's got a good understanding of it. If Amorim can't get through to these players, with the process that we're going through, it's not going to happen straight away. But if he doesn't work at Manchester United, it's on these players for not doing enough at the end of the day. And players have got to make the cut. If they don't, they've got to be out the door straight away. And I hope that, you know, as I said, I want to bring in 3 players. That would be good. 2 players at least. But 3 would be fantastic in January. But we've also got to have some outgoings as well in January, players who aren't going to do it for us. And, you know, that's players like Anthony, for example. I mean, you know, who knows what's going to happen with Joshua Zirkzee. I think hopefully Amorim can get Zirkzee to work in his style. But again, like Luke Shaw, Anthony, you know, I think their players have got to go. Shaw's too injury prone, even though he is good in his day when he, like, you know, when he does play and he is fit, but he's too injury prone. I feel like it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Malacia. Martinez is injured again, unfortunately, and he's such a great player, but he just gets injured so much. Euro's coming back, so you never know. Euro in the team with De Ligt, who knows where Martinez is going to stand, even though we really still do need Martinez because he's bloody fantastic at the end of the day, but he's just gets injured too much. Yeah, look, let's just wait and see what happens. But Amorim knows the problems. Let's wait and see what happens. Anyway, thanks for watching.